Karnataka, and this is the fallout to the Prajwal Revanna sex abuse case that we bring to you, where in the latest turn of events, the Karnataka government has written to the Ministry of External Affairs seeking a cancellation of the JDS MP's diplomatic passport on the basis of an arrest warrant. Now, sources have suggested that the Ministry of External Affairs has received the letter, which is now being processed. On Tuesday, remember, Karnataka Home Minister G. Parameshwara has said that the state government had urged the centre to cancel his diplomatic passport. Listen in to what was said by him.
We have requested the Interpol to issue the blue corner notice, which they have done it, and he must be in somewhere. I don't know where he is. The Interpol has to inform the Government of India, and then Government of India through CBI they will inform us. We have also requested the Government of India to cancel his diplomatic passport, so that diplomatic immunity, once it's gone, then he has to come back. So we will definitely work on those lines also.
Now, urging Prime Minister Modi to consider this matter with utmost seriousness, Chief Minister Siddaramaiah wrote, and I quote him, "Shameful that Prajwal Revanna fled the country on 27th April 2024 to Germany using his diplomatic passport shortly after the news of his heinous actions emerged, and just a few hours before the first FIR was filed against him. After facing allegations of sexually abusing several women came to light, the politician fled to Germany." Remember, this is the first update that had come into the story, on a diplomatic passport on April 27th. Since then, he has been absconding. So what is a diplomatic passport? To just decode that for you, ladies and gentlemen, Prajwal is authorized for a diplomatic, or a type D passport that we call it. Ministry of External Affairs issues diplomatic passports to those representing our country. Diplomats, government officials, or their immediate families can be issued one of such kind. Diplomatic passport holders enjoy certain privileges and immunities. Protection from arrest, detention, and some legal proceedings abroad can be availed using this particular kind of passport. And in fact, it provides visa-free entry to 34 nations, which includes Germany. Short duration travel between 30 to 90 days under diplomatic passport is allowed. 2011 bilateral agreements allows visa-free travel up to 90 days to Germany. That is almost 3 months, in fact. Despite that, political clearance mandatory for Germany, and type D passport is barred from personal or commercial use. MPs required to apply for prior political clearances with the Ministry of External Affairs. With that, in fact, we have our colleague Wajiullah joining us on the broadcast to decode this further and simplify this further for you. Waji, a very good morning to you. Very firstly, we just explained to our viewers what a diplomatic passport is. Now, if you could also take us through how this diplomatic passport, if indeed cancelled by the Ministry of External Affairs for Prajwal Revanna, how will this affect the current case? Will he be forced to come back to the country? How will it play out now?
Well, the idea of diplomatic passport and the last point that you mentioned, it requires a clearance from the MEA, so which gives an indication that the MEA somewhere had the idea of him flying. Now, with this indication, where he has landed, maybe Germany, then the German authorities also have a clue that a diplomat has come from so-and-so country. So when a diplomatic visa gets cancelled, then that turns into a pressure on Germany on saying that so-and-so reasons have been cited by a particular country for the cancellation of your diplomatic visa. And on that basis, it now depends on that country whether if Prajwal Revanna files a case saying that the cases against him are not a fraud and they're politically motivated, and the German courts buy it, then he has a chance to stay back, like Vijay Mallya, who's fighting cases, Lalit Modi, who's fighting cases against the Indian government in other cases. So, but in this particular case, the pressure is high from the state government to the central government that they should immediately cancel his diplomatic passport and make sure that he's back here. CM also has written a letter which you've just told our viewers But what we've learned is that the MEA is now processing the part of the cancellation of Prajwal Revanna's visa. So this is what we've learned from our sources. So the MEA is working now due to the cancellation of this. So we will get to know some good news in some time with regards to what will happen with Prajwal Revanna next. If the diplomatic visa is cancelled, then there is some certain pressure from him. But this is the diplomatic side of it. But the family of Prajwal Revanna also has been putting pressure on him to come back. Yesterday, we saw his uncle H.D. Kumaraswamy in a press conference saying that Prajwal, it's high time, it's affecting the health uh, of the grandfather also. So it's high time that he has to come back and face all the charges that are leveled against him instead of his family suffering.
Right, Vaji. In fact, that brings a very important question to the fore. The delay in his return, because remember, you yourself had mentioned long back that the return ticket, or rather the ticket that was bought to Germany, had it mentioned that it's a round trip where he's supposed to come back on 16th. And it is the 23rd of May today, and we still we don't have any signs of his whereabouts. And now, with his family also coming up and requesting him to come back, what light does this shed on the entire matter as well? Like, for that matter, we had seen that H.D. Revanna had been taken into custody, but the fact that Prajwal Revanna is still out there and he's not a part of the investigation yet, what light does this throw on the entire case so far?
Well, yes, Prajwal himself had tweeted saying that the truth will prevail and he will come back, and he sought some time from the government to respond to this particular case. But now it's been more than that. 16 was his return, and today is the 23rd. We are just 4 days away since this 4 days away for a month. Of Prajwal Revanna not returning to Bengaluru or India, at least for this particular allegation that have been leveled against him. And like you mentioned, yes, the family has also been appealing to him time and again. And if you see the chain of events that have happened in this particular case with regards to how the family has been suffering, his father was first arrested because there were cases against him also, while there were cases against Prajwal Revanna. While the father was arrested, he went to jail. He's out on bail right now, and he has been doing temple hopping since the time he's come out. And his great grandfather has been unwell with regards to the allegations that have been leveled. And his 91st birthday was also not celebrated at the backdrop of this particular allegation that the family has been facing. So with regards to Prajwal Revanna's return, it depends on Prajwal Revanna now, because we have no whereabouts of Prajwal Revanna. Initially, there were reports that he is in Germany because that is where the ticket is off. And as per the diplomatic details that you have explained, it clearly gives you an idea that Germany is a safer haven for such people to go, because at least you have a 90-day permission to stay on your diplomatic passport. So if he's in Germany right now, then things should be put across to the German authorities to pull him back. A blue corner notice has been sent out, like Parameshwara mentioned. But now it remains to be seen on what pressure does Prajwal Revanna crack, whether it's the pressure of the family, it's the pressure of the bad name that is going around with regards to his name, or the pressure of that diplomatic passport, which he'll come back with. So that is something that we'll have to wait and watch.
Right, Vaji, indeed, that is quite the question of the hour that we have been speculating on ever since these charges came to the fore, and he moved to Germany. He had flown out to Germany.